Oh man. Come on. Yeah, I can't read you guys right now because OBS is like having issues. We're having issues. Okay, doc, chat. Boom. Chat. Boom. Right there. Boom. Chat in it. Sorry guys, my internet died. It went. But it's fine. We're back. And we're not on crack. That's the most important part. Okay. But I would like my music to play again, so here we go. Dude, check out this awesome product that you're never gonna purchase. There we go. Hey, we got Chase Lee. We got Ria. Sorry. Any name with the R in front of it, it's just fun to say. That's why I say my name all the time. Raleigh. Welcome everyone back. Sorry for that momentary lapse in the stream. My internet took a dookie poopy. Yeah. Internet was mad that I said Jesus loves you. You see it right here, folks. They was angry. They was mad. So what we're doing is we're saying if the impact normal is looking against else, what are we gonna do? I mean, because if we're not, you know, doing this, then we're obviously not sticking to the wall, right? Let's set the gravity back. Rhea, blueprints. Where are the blueprints? I'm looking for the blueprints. The blueprints to the secret of the asylum that I don't know I'm in. No. Yeah. We're just doing a super check here on literally everything. Climbing mode. Ooh, I almost cracked my back with that one. That's like the one time sneezing is pleasant. It was like you sneeze and your back cracks. It's like, and you're like, oh, I never knew I needed that sneeze. And by the way, guys, why aren't you saying God bless me for that? Very disappointed. Okay. You're not using the syntax. You're not using the right syntax. You gotta make sure to complete what you're doing there, buddy. Buddy boy. I already scared 2 people away. Sorry, guys. That's what I do. I'm a wacky guy. Wow. Yeah. And we're still in the state where, bless you, thank you, Rhea. Thank you, Rhea. God bless you for being such a great person. And Chase, too, because he's all right. He's all right. He's all right. He's all right guy. So right now, I'm not one, this doesn't get restarted every time. Oh, man. Yeah, look at me. Infinitely stuck in that position. Boom. I mean, at least it plays it now. It wasn't playing it beforehand. But it does need to be a lot, it needs to be faster. So we're gonna go ahead and do the dumb thing now, which is add a U property that we can change. Wall slide speed. The higher, the faster. Changes gravity scale. I don't know. Hey, I'm more than just all right. Yes, you are, sir. Yes, you are, sir. I was just making a jokey joke. All right. Oh, hey, we can go specifically to the points where everything... What do you mean it's not found? 0.1F. There is way more. All right, whatever. Gravity scale. We're setting these all back to the default value, so I guess the only place where that is an issue is there, so that's fine. Oh, boy. Now we're going to have to most likely restart the entire project. Because we're gonna have to, you know, wall slide speed. Let's do 0.5. Let's play with these numbers until we get a desirable result. Ding. That's interesting. So if I let go, it'll do the transition, but when I'm moving, it doesn't. That's interesting. Right? So we have the slide now. The slide it's in. Right? It's very easy to make. The only issue now we have is like all the exiting logic. For instance, when I let go, right, I want the player, so this is a very difficult task to make. I'm gonna have to play with it, but a part of me is saying like, this is probably not a good idea. That's for good reason. There's gonna be a lot of contradiction in the way the movement works. Because one, we need to hold against the wall in order to slide against it with the mechanic I have in mind. But we have to look in the opposite direction for a directional jump. Right? I want the player to be able to leap, like have an angle-based system where they can leap, and that's just not possible. I think the biggest thing, though, is making it so the normal, which should be getting reset right now. I don't know why it's probably because we are not... I think is sliding is not being turned off. And that's the issue. Slide. Get out of here. Yeah, see, we're never setting this back to false. And I don't know why. B is wall sliding. Ah, that's why, because we can never enter into here, because we can only do it if we are wall sliding. So if we have this, and this isn't working, so let's look at this really quick. This should be returning true for anything that's less than 0, which means against the wall, right? And just to check this really quick, let's go ahead, because I'm like, there's no way that it would be positive in the other light. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of this. First, we want to generate the overlap events, and we want to set this to 0, and then chunkify it. We want to chunkify it, guys. Chunk. Give it some chunk. Oh my gosh, this is driving me insane. Why did I put it there like a dummy? Okay. Oh, it still does work, regardless of the side. All right, so it is because we're not setting that to false. So it looks like we're gonna have to make a release from wall function in the case that we aren't doing I was hoping it would just kind of fall off, but we're really not doing anything in the case where the player is not looking against the wall. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. The code for the wall check right now for the slide is pretty horrendous. I mean, look at how nested. Look at how nested this is. Oh my god. This needs to get refactored at some point. But it ain't happening today. Just so you know, it ain't happening today. And it ain't happening tomorrow. So if we're not sticking to the wall, then we're definitely not going to be sliding on the wall, right? We're not sliding on the wall. 100%. Oh. Whoa. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, please make sure to click that like and subscribe button. I am we are an independent developer, right? And all the support helps. For a second, I thought I was saying solo developer. No longer a solo developer. I have people working on the game with me. Boom. That's interesting. I'm just trying some things out. Test the input. So, one issue here is that because we are colliding with the wall, it's not... So, up to the point where we hit the wall, we get the input. Right? But if I were to say, like, bump into the wall and then try to click it after that, doesn't work. Right? Which is fine. But I want to be able to grab this while I'm in midair. And that might be an issue too on its own. Maybe I should just make it so when you jump against the wall, you climb. But I felt like it would be weird if, like, let's say I'm just jumping and I don't want to climb against the wall. It's annoying to me as a player to have to be like, no, I don't want to go in there. You know? But yeah. I mean, we just need to find out why we are setting this to... Yeah, if we're not against the wall, right? Because it's doing this check every single tick. It's checking. For a wall check, it's checking every single tick, every single frame. So every single frame, it's saying, hey, is the input there? If not, you know, break from the wall. It should be doing this if we're getting the opposite of this. Else, so essentially, if we're not moving against the wall, we should be performing, you know, this and this. Granted, we probably only need to do the first function because it looks like climb mode and stick to wall are similar in that sense, where they're both like, hey, if it's false, set the movement mode to falling, and then, you know, yada yada. And we should want to change the gravity here. Bam, 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 bam. And honestly, why would I set it there like an idiot? We want the gravity back prior to all that. What's going on? Damn. I mean, if I were to do this on move, like if I'm moving, obviously I'm not sliding on the wall, but it feels like it's just being called somewhere else. That's just kind of messy. Right. Bam, bam, ba down, ba dum, ba down, bam. Up and out. Sweet. It's still not working. That is so annoying. Is it stick to wall that I have it? B is wall sliding. We're only entering this. If we're not wall sliding, then we're sticking to the wall. Right? I mean, I guess this is being done a little bit weirdly. Stick to wall. It's false. When the impact or when we're not moving against the wall, it's gonna come back false. It's gonna play whatever else is in the else statement. Just stick to wall. False, which means that we're not doing any of this. All right. We're doing all of this, which should be setting the gravity back to 2, which in turn would make someone fall, right? At the normal speed. We're setting everything else to false. So we're doing all this. I'm just going to, I guess, do a print here to see if we ever get to this. And my stuff is chunking up. Is opposite or input aligns with the wall. And it sounds weird saying that, but that's literally what's going on. So, you know, essentially my input is checking if the dot product of my input and the wall normal are, you know, completely opposite, it'll return -1, right? Which means that I'm not moving against the wall. But in the case that I am moving against the wall, or which means I'm moving against the wall, right? Because the wall normal goes this way. If my input is completely opposite, it's going to return a -1. If they're the same, which means you're moving with the wall, right? It's going to come back 1, which means you're trying to get away from it. Sorry, so hard to explain that for some strange. And it's still just not working. Where am I logic? Is it not clearing the normals? It's gotta be what's going on. I mean, let's see if we jump. Nope. And it has nothing to do with normals, right? Because I do have it so you can only jump on one wall, or you can't jump on the same wall twice. So it means I can't jump on this and keep jumping up. And you could do that in the previous system. But we changed that to make it so if it's the same wall normal, then you can't do that. But now, the wall slide, after you wall slide, you can't do it. So it's like, oh yeah, we want to see if we are... Come on. Come on! And as you can see, warning, interrupted. That was just for the vault, which we're going to have to get to after we have the new Judas system. We'll start working on the vault again. But yeah, we are not reaching this code. Get last input vector. I'm gonna try to, I guess, run a text here. I've done it before when I tried to get the results of this and it just looks wonky. I'm still learning, by the way, guys, so don't think I'm like some professional. And anyone who is like, who knows how to code is watching this, they'll tell you I'm not like a professional coder. Right? So there's still a lot that I have to learn, which is why I'm making a lot of amateur mistakes. Steve! Hey, Steve! Make sure you normalize the input vector. That isn't the reason it's not working, but it's something that could come up later. So you think I should normalize this? But if I normalize it, right? What is it? Safe, normal? That returns a vector? Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you. Why would that come up as an issue later, Steve, if you don't mind me asking? Because I take your word for it, which is why I added it. But why would that become an issue if you don't mind me asking? And anyway, let's go ahead and return result.x. Man, we don't want that. We want this. Probably get rid of this. If only he used blueprints. You and your blueprints, man. He wakes up and his whole room's like, he's like, oh, these were made with blueprints. He's like, this couch, there's a blueprint made this. He's like, my bed. He lays on his bed and he rubs it. He's like, blueprint made this. It was all blueprints. Runs out of the house like, because my house is made, yeah. So I was on that same premise. But yeah, you could see that it's returning like -1 there. Interesting. -1. But afterwards, So it's dependent on it being a unit length of 1. So there could be just some jumbling of stuff later that would make it not return a 1. Input aligns with wall. Input aligns with wall. See, it's saying input aligns with wall, which is in the other, which is in here. It's setting this one. But once we get into here, right, it doesn't check it anymore. It automatically, like, because this is called every frame. Adnan, hey Adnan, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Chase says, I gotta go do my own live stream. I'll see you later. Oh, you're so cool with your own live stream. You should start doing your live stream at like 12, bro. Come on, bro. This is you and me time, man. Think about an analog controller with a stick in half position. It may point in the right direction, but the dot product won't be 1. It will be less than 1. True. But I kind of want it that way because, for instance, if I were to use a controller, I mean, my whole entire premise of my code is based on a 0 to 1 idea. So if we're going to the full left or we're going slightly up, it'll change and vary depending on the joystick. So it's like at its maximum, it's to the far left, right? But when we slightly tilt it up to the left, it's not at its full maximum, which is why I did that. But normalizing takes a value between 0 and 1 does it anyways, right? If I were to normalize it, it would be a value between 0 and 1. And honestly, we want it to be, if we normalize it, doesn't normalization make it a positive number? Now that I think about it. Because if the whole idea is like if it's against, so essentially if the input is -1 and the wall normal is 1, which means the wall's pointing this way. If we check the dot product of those two, right, they would go like this, and that would essentially say, all right, the player is moving against the wall, which means they want to interact with the wall, right? Anyways, Chase, thanks for stopping by. You have a good one. Makes it a unit length of 1. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that then, because here, I'm going to plug in my controller and see if it still works. Wow, wow, wow. It still works. It's constantly stuck in this area now. It doesn't do it again after that. Let's see how many times this is called. And I'm not going to do like a counter. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. My chat isn't updating for some reason. I need to keep refreshing it. Have you tried maybe what browser are you using? So a stick at 30% tilted unnormalized in the same direction as the wall returns a value of z1. Oh, okay. Yes, I do. So if you look, I'm doing this in several locations, right? So essentially what I'm trying to do is if we're not meeting the parameter of like the player wanting to interact with the wall, we're going to not stick to the wall. And in this function, it's if we set it to true, it's like sticking mode or cling mode, right? It's setting it to true. It's turning this mode on. We set the mode to flying, turn this velocity to 0, make it so you stick to wall equals true. Then we change the movement, yada, yada, yada. Otherwise, we do this, which you can obviously see. But there is some interesting issues. It seems to be caught like in here. And I want to see if it's still updating. Change of plans, I'm back. What happened, Chase? Why was there a change of plans? So it does only get printed once, which means this only gets called once. Oh, and is not sticking to wall. If it is sticking to wall, this doesn't even get called. Because I don't want to call this every frame. So if I remove this, I'll be fine. Regardless, though, let's see how that plays out. I don't know why I put that there. The blueprints called to me. What did the blueprints say when you talk to them? Yeah, see, now it breaks. But when I start sliding, it doesn't break. Right? So I think it has to do with the timer. It has to do with the timer. That's what it is. So this gets called, all this gets called, right? But the thing is I think it has to do with the timer, Steve. They said that the guy in the hat has poo-poo. That's not true. Sorry, that was dumb of me to say, but I felt like it did. So it is probably the timer that's causing this mayhem. So it works now, but it's only working after the timer is taking off. Let's see, -1, -1. Oh. But that's if I'm looking against the wall. If I just leave this alone, it breaks after that. So like, let's say I can't move away from the wall. I can't break from the wall. So I need to find a way to exit the delay here prematurely. But can you exit a delay after, or a timer after you've set it? Right? Let's look that up. I'm gonna look up the ChatGPT. Can you exit from a timer prematurely? So you can just clear the timer like we have been, and it'll exit it prematurely. If only you use blueprints and blend spaces. You could probably use a handle to cancel it. So in this case, I would simply just have to say handle, or at least, because we're sticking to the wall, it looks like it doesn't even play. Let's clear the timer. Wall cling. Is it slide timer? Wall slide timer. Dot clear. No, we would have to say get world dot get time manager, and then dot clear timer, and then we would have to use, sorry for all the zombie code up there, I guess they call it I'm back. Hopefully chat works better now. Yeah, hopefully it does. Are you at least seeing it on the stream when it happens? Yeah. Slide. Stick to wall. Let's see if that works. I don't think it'll, because it looks like it doesn't even matter. Like it's, yeah, see, it doesn't matter. And now it does work. So once this hits, like this all has to wait until this turns on. So it's like, how do I check this while this is occurring? Do I have to say if input against the wall, and then, because then I'd have to pass in the wall normal of this in here, make this a whole big thing. Yeah, I'd have to pass in the mid hit here. Oh, it's the same wall. Yeah, I'd have to make a big old line. Yeah, I see the ones on screen. Okay, so at least you have that, but it still would be nice to have it so it's whatever you could see it in the chat, right? Gotta move this out of here. No, everything's falling apart. My messy desk that you guys will never see until it's organized. You'll never see it. I gotta plug my headset in, guys. Ugh. So guys, do you like the shorter streams or the longer streams? Or does it not matter to you? If input against the wall is the wall normal, last wall normal. But I don't think it's going to... it's like one of those out of the frying pan and into the oven type of deals. You know, we've figured out one thing, but now it's the next. Yeah. Not to mention, It'll work fine here. But when we're sliding, after we're sliding, if we fall off, that's interesting, because if I go into like a slide, like we start sliding, work there. I let go. We're not really getting the results we want. The movement's kind of contradict. Longer! Longer! We want you here forever! You would never leave. I like the longer ones, but they keep me distracted from my other work sometimes. True. You can always put me on the sideline if I'm becoming too much of a distraction. Slide down, we jump. Yeah. The slide is definitely going to be interesting because we have this on a delay. And on top of that, we have a very specific area as to when you're considered sticking to the wall. So if we give players the ability to slide on said wall, right? It'll look weird because we'll glitch into the wall. I think the stream should be 24 hours a day, dude. That'd be dope. If I could do it without losing my mind. Yeah, that's true. I could break the slide when approaching the ground. Like make a... But it's more like the issue at hand right now, Steve, is this. Like if I let go, it falls off. Like, watch. Hands. See how he's doing that? Watch. Right? So I want it to, if your character is not, if you're not holding against this wall, he's going to break off of it immediately. That's what I want. You can break out of it by jumping. But it's funny because your character's gravity, it gets all torn up if you jump in the midst of it, which shouldn't be the case because I made it so when you do jump, we're resetting the gravity back to normal. All we're doing is changing the gravity still. I'm still wondering why it's doing this. That's why. Because the cling is not being set what it's supposed to be. Yeah, this is going to be a big old ordeal. When the absolute vector is 0, then there's no input. Exactly. So it's my system is based off of that. If there's no input, and I'll show you just so you know. inputs against. So if you want something to happen when input is released, check that. Maybe I could just have an input release, stop all movement. But yeah, if you look here, you'll see if the results are less than 0, so I'm not saying less than or equal 0, it'll return true. Else, if it's equal to 0 or anything greater, it should return false, right? Like anything less than 0 is going to return true. Anything 0, should return false. But I do like the idea of having something released, because that's a trigger that could essentially it would be canceled, wouldn't it? I mean, we do have a move stop, so I could check in here. So this is just to make it so I'm going to move this into another function. Look to last input value. Right, and then in the moves stop. So we're going to look to last input value. And then in here, we're also going to do some checks. So if you want something to happen when input is released, yeah, 0 input will be 0, not negative 0. So 0 input will return true for less than 0. 0 input will be 0, not negative. Well, I know that, but what I'm getting at is anything less than 0 would return true, right? Unless, because I've only got the calculus. I don't want to sound rude here, but is there such thing as a negative 0? Because I don't think there is. My mind, is there such thing as a negative? Yes, it does not have a sign. A sign. 0 input would be 0, not negative 0. Really? Not in math, but in computing. So would it return? Could it return a negative 0 at some point? When would that be the case, if so? That's crazy. I didn't know that. Holy crap. Is there a negative computing? Ah. So it could be positive, negative, or just neutral. But why do they have like a positive 0 and negative 0? Is this because of like the floating programming language that support floating point numbers? So a float requires both. So it goes to positive 0 before it goes to 0, and then it goes to negative 0 and then negative 1. That's actually really cool. I didn't know that though. So at some point it's going to reach negative 0. Holy moly. Huh. I'm like so confused right now. I'm like trying to rethink everything I've done and been like, when would that happen? That could happen, right? So I could say less than negative 0. Can I say that? Let's go, okay. Last input. Last or input against wall. Can I say like anything less than negative 0? And that'll be fine? Is that a thing I can do? To be absolutely sure? So I'd say anything less than or equal to, oh my God, that compiled. So I would say anything less than or equal to negative 0. What happens? Let's compute this and see. I gotta pull out my handy dandy controller again. I gotta actually test these things. What? Come on, let me run around you. Let me run around you. Oh, but it'll still do it. Like, even if I look towards the wall, it'll still do it. It should be equal to 0. So what would having no input equal to? Okay, I think I know what you're saying. But yeah, see, if I have it like that, it'll connect me to the wall. But if I have it less than, it won't. Why do you think that is, with everything you've just said in mind? Like, yeah, see, now it's not even getting it. But when I do have it set to equal, it does that. Let's try that again. Let's try it again. By the way, Steve, I haven't asked you how you're doing this morning, man. How are you doing? Yeah, I mean, it still does that. So we're just gonna do this. I don't know why it's doing that. That's actually cool to know. Why is it that when I jump in this? Oh, it's because I'm not clearing. I have to clear the timer. Clear. Honestly, if it's, we have it if we're in flying mode. So let's go ahead and do this, and then get world, get timer manager, clear time, wall, slide, timer. Doing great. Maybe it's me who's confused. I assume no input means that you don't want to hold the wall. Exactly, like 0. So I'm confused too, because 0, like if I were to UE log this every tick, like 0 would represent no input at all, right? So I think the confusing part is this, it's because it's set on a timer, and that's like why when I should be breaking from the wall, but because we're stuck in the timer, it never gets to that point. It's like halting every single call up to that point. Right? And now that's fixed. But yeah, essentially, like the whole reason I'm even still up in the air before I slide is because sorry. It's literally because the timer. That's why it's not registering. It's because the timer's ticking right now, and once the timer's finished, and if I were to go into here to show you, at least that's what I've come to the conclusion of. Wall slide, was it delay? I think. All right, we're gonna do like, let's say like 5 seconds. I believe this is the delay in the timer, which I should make more clear. Like, let's say I connect with the wall. See how he's just here for way longer. Also, it's good to hear that you're doing good, Steve. But yeah, you notice how it's there longer, it's because it's waiting for that delay to do something, to do the next thing. And once that delay goes off, then everything goes back to normal. It's checking all of the parameters again, right? However, if after the timer, right, and just to show you this, so we're connecting with the wall, timer's going on. If I hold against the wall, I'll slide. If I connect against the wall, I let go, we do this, right? Angelo Kraus, is this your first game? It is not my first game. I've developed and produced, well, not produced. I've published 2 games on the mobile app. One called Lino Judah, and then another game that's wildly successful, in my opinion. Google, and I'll just show you. So you know I'm not fibbing. Because I showed my buddies, and they were like, well, it doesn't have your name on it, so I can't. It was like, what the heck? Are you guys that mad that my game's doing well? Kind of weird. But just so you know, I'm not fibbing. I ain't lying. All right, play console. Boom. Right. 3.4 rating. It's pretty good. We have about 1,000. We've had 1,430,000 user acquisitions in the last 30 days, and about 1.19K phones have this installed currently on their device, or concurrent players. If we go to view on Google Store, you could say we have 10,000 plus downloads, a 3.9 rating. It was 4.2. As this gets bigger, this is going to drop because this isn't by any means a great game. But in short, to answer your question, no, this is not my it's not my first rodeo. If grabbing the wall and input is 0, cancel the timer plus reset the gravity. That's true. I'm going to try this method first because I liked your first suggestion, which was on movement stopped, right? Which does get called here. And just to kind of get a idea if this will even work, let's just print out something here that says, hey, and he's lying, I made it. I'm the one who created it, man. He's hacked into my thing, bro. Don't believe him. But honestly, though, that game should probably be making money, and my developer friend that I made it with has not been contacting me, has been avoiding me, so I'm assuming they got some money, and they're trying to stiff me. So that's how it works. Which is why when I started this project, I was a little iffy about working with people, because I'm gullible in the sense where I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And we're just gonna have to set this here. Let's get timer. Sorry, get world dot get time manager dot clear timer wall slide timer. You can't sue people with no money, man. I'm broke. I'm broke. But you know, I think that's kind of just crappy. Yeah, and even here I've stopped movement. Why did that go for so long? Set to 1. We stop moving. And he's just gonna sit here forever, I guess. If I hold it. So why is it that now that I've cleared the timer, it doesn't do anything? So I think it's more about clearing the timer. It's more about if B is sticking to wall. I guess in here we can just say stick to wall is false. And that should clear the timer and reset everything. Yeah, well, I leave it in God's hand. He was a friend of mine, so I don't want to I don't know. I don't like punishing people. So it's, yep, and there we go. It works now, guys. When I release, it stops. If I'm sliding and I release, it stops. There we go. But here's where it's going to get iffy. That person isn't your friend. True. But that's the thing, right? I know it's going to sound stupid, immature, and dumb. But I personally don't believe that friendship is based off of what other people see. Like, for instance, someone would say, like, let's say I thought someone was my friend, but they didn't see me as my friend. And because they didn't see me as my friend, they're not my friend. And me, it's more like, yeah, they might not see me as their friend, but I personally like them. And I still consider them my friend. Right? So for me, I don't know. I do need to take some form of action, though. I'll say that much. But it is a little discerning and disheartening. And it makes it hard for people like me to... it doesn't make it hard, actually, but it does kind of make you cautious about things, and I don't think that's fair to do to anyone. Granted, he could have just not... He could be really busy right now and haven't even looked at any of the numbers. Right? But I'm sure God will handle it, man. God handles everything fairly and righteously, and I'm not gonna get too bent out of shape over it, you know? But yeah, if we're not up against the wall, this breaks now, which is good, but yeah, there's some other things we got to figure out now. Why can't I look at the numbers? I asked him. So last time I talked to him was in December, I believe. No, in November. He told me that he would help me with another project, because this is right when I was starting like Judah and Friends, and I was going to work on a couple of games, right? But I can't work on all of them by myself, right? So I messaged my buddy, and you know, just a long list of me like trying to talk to him. Otherwise, the weekly email should contain the current earnings, but it doesn't give you the full earnings. The weekly emails will tell you like $1 or like 33 cents. And to me, it's like him wanting to make it like, oh, I gotta go and I gotta look through all the history, which I'll have to do at some point. But I'm gonna wait until that accrues a lot of money, because there's no point in spending money to sue someone for a small amount of money. Why am I going to pay $300 to get $200? It's just, there's no, I don't know. I don't think that's the smart thing to do. So I'll just wait until there's a lot of money that accrues. And then once a lot of that money has gathered, he definitely is going to be hearing from me and a lawyer. But personally, from my experience, I don't think he's like that. I think he's just stuck in his own thing. And he probably hasn't even looked at them. So, who knows? He could be stiffing me. But, you know, and so here's the big issue is like, let's say I want to add directional jumping. You have to do this really quick. Like, because directional jumping involves you looking somewhere and jumping, right? Which granted, I think people are going to do anyways. Like, they're going to jump on a wall, hold against the wall, and then jump. Or, you know, it depends. You guys will have to tell me when you play the play test, if you like this. Because I feel like this is all dependent on how fast the player moves and their play style. Yeah, that's what I am doing, man. I'm trusting in God and in his plan. Because that's all I can do, man. Or else I'd be sitting here thinking about that the whole time. Like, I don't want money to be the focal point of my life. If that was the case, I would probably continue school and take a offer that was given to me, right? Another issue is I mean, if we're going to have maneuverability when we cling, I think what I'm going to do is reset the jump count. Because there are some cases. Also, I don't feel like the direction of the character is, or the jumping really says anything. But yeah, I mean, we have it where some things, or we have the slide mechanic, right? As you can obviously see. Sorry, this is kind of derailing from the topic because it's a lot to think about. But it's 12 o'clock. I'll prepare myself for 3-hour streams tomorrow. We're going to start doing 3-hour streams from 10 through, 10 to about from 10, 11, 12, 1 to 1 o'clock. So, but yeah, it's still frustrating though. Anyways, I'm going to work on Judah, guys. So, with that being said, I'm going to hop on off. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you, Steve, for helping me out. Thank you, Chase, for just saying BPs the whole time. I'm like trying to figure out something. I'm frustrated. And you're like, BPs wouldn't happen if the BP. Which you're fine though. I'm just trying to make a joke out of it. But yeah, Rhea, I will see you later, and I will be back on tomorrow. We're gonna start having 3-hour streams, and yeah, keep it at that. Probably get off at 1. But just to give enclosure, we have a slide mechanic now. As you can see, when the player interacts with the wall, if they hold against it, they'll slowly slide down it. Right? We just need to fix some things with animations, some VFX, yada yada, and we should be good. But other than that, guys, I think once we get combat in, we might have like a playtest. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled, watch, observe, and get ready, because we're gonna have a playtest hopefully here in the next, or I want to say in next month or 2. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna bounce on out. I know I've said this already, but if you haven't, make sure to click the like and subscribe button. All the support counts, and I greatly appreciate it. Other than that, God bless. I'll catch you around, and Jesus loves you. Yeah. Peace out, guys.